Howdy, folks. Spencer here, and today I'll be taking a look at the COFO Zero Gravity Monitor Arm Pro, a Japanese minimalist monitor arm which advertises the ability to move your displays as if floating in zero gravity, which raised nearly $1 million between Kickstarter and Mukake. As always, chapters to each section are listed down below. And a quick disclaimer, this monitor arm was sent to me free of charge from COFO in exchange for doing this video on it. However, they have no editorial input on anything I say here. Now, before I get back to the unboxing, let's just go over some of the basics. This is available in either black or white, and you can get it for a single monitor, a dual monitor setup, or the one that I have is the black vertical mount. So you do have quite a few options with this. And pricing wise, at the normal pricing, the single is $199, $149 with the launch sale. For the dual and vertical, those have a normal base cost of $299, but they are currently on a launch sale, down to just $239. And while I have the product page up, this will support a weight of 2.5 to 14 kilograms per arm, with recommended monitor sizes between 17 and 40 inches. And this supports 75 by 75 or 100 by 100 Vesa mounts, and a desk thickness between 10 to 50 millimeters for the clamp mount, or 10 to 55 millimeters for the grommet mount. And for those that want it, there is also a laptop mount that you can get. It's $39 base or $29 with the launch sale, and that is also available in black or white. Now, for the unboxing, I've got this footage sped up, but the packaging for this really is crazy. It's a very premium feel, which you would expect at that price point. And I've bought other monitor mounts at not far off that price point, and they're not packaged anywhere near this well. Now, in the manual, the English will start about halfway through. You also get a little thank you card and a booklet of the other COFO products. And when you get past that foam, all models of this will have the upper and lower arms there. For the vertical variant, I have the pull also on the top layer. The layer below that then has the other upper and lower arm, along with the clamp and other accessories for this model. And this is the before shot of the workspace. I'm going to be replacing the Amazon Basics monitor mounts, which I believe are rebranded Ergotrons. I'm going to be replacing these two along with the Elgato mount that I have here. I'm going to be replacing those with the COFO vertical mount. The idea is that's going to take up less room on the desk. That's going to also let me raise this monitor up a bit higher if I'm doing like an unboxing or messing around with some hardware and just need that little bit of extra vertical clearance. And I'm also going to be able to have a bit more flexibility with the Rodecaster Duo to move that where I need it to be, depending on what I'm actually doing. So this is going to be a nice upgrade, and I'm going to get these all taken off the desk, and we'll jump to the install of the COFO mount. Now, something to keep in mind with this is that the C-clamp will support a desk thickness of up to 50 millimeters and the grommet up to 55. So unfortunately for my workbench, this does not work at the back. There's a metal beam going across the back of my workbench that prevents that from working. But on the side, it does work, so I'm going to get that there, push it back as far as I can, and then I'm going to use the biggest hex key to screw it in. So I'm going to do this funny while trying to make sure the camera can still see it, but I'm holding it in place with one hand, and I'm going to screw it in with the other. Just get that on there as tight as I can. And that is the clamp installed. Next up is going to be the pull, and you are going to need the smallest of the 3 Allen keys for this because there is 2 lock screws at the bottom here. So set that on there and then get the screws locked in. After that, you're going to grab one of the adjustment rings, and the point of this is to slide on here and sit below the monitor arms to provide some additional support. So I'm going to hold this in place and screw it down in using the smallest of the 3 Allen wrenches. Doesn't take much to get that secured. Okay, next up is going to be one of the lower monitor arms, and you can see how the cable management works on this. You got a little plate that'll slide out on each of these pieces here. Just route the cables through, and then put that cover back on. Now, when installing this onto the pole, there is a little screw at the back here that you can tighten down if you want to make it so it's not as easy to move. I'm not going to touch that as I want to be able to easily move these arms around as I need to. And the side that is a bit more straight is what's going to go onto the pole, and the part sticking up over here that's curved upwards, that is what's going to stick upwards for the other part of the arm to attach to. So that just slides on, simple like that. And now you can jump right to putting the other part of the arm on. But before I do that, I want to get the other adjustment ring out and get the other lower piece put on, just to get an idea of what I'm working with here space-wise. So I need to figure out where I want to put the second adjustment ring. That needs to be right below where the monitor arm is going to go. So I'm going to put that on and just do a test fit here. I want this other one to be right near the top, so I'm going to just leave it there. I'm going to take that Allen key and just tighten this into place. Do that for both of them. And that is secured. So that still allows the arm to actually move around quite easily. And I'm going to loosen the screw on that so it can move around a bit better. But again, if you want this to not move around as much, you can just screw that down. And what that does is just makes it, you can still move it, but it just makes it much harder to move. Which again, I don't want for my use case. So I'm going to loosen that back up so I have that flexibility. And there is also a little cable management attachment that you can put onto this pole. You don't have to worry about doing it as you're putting these pieces together. It is just a flexible plastic, so it will snap right on. And this does also have a spot to hold the Allen keys long term. So if you want to store those someplace easy to remember, that is a good option for you. And while I have one of the upper monitor arms down, you can see this is a little bit dusty. I have had to re-record the setup process here, so I've already been using this a week, but you're going to see some scuffs and some dust from having actually been used. But on the end of the top arm here, there's a knob that you can turn to tension this. If you turn it clockwise, you're going to loosen it, and you're going to enable it to better support things that don't weigh as much. For instance, that Rodecaster Duo there. I had to turn the tensioning down quite a bit for that. And if you have a heavier item, like a really heavy monitor, you would need to turn counterclockwise to tighten it to handle supporting that monitor. And you can see the cable channel at the bottom here. It's the same design as the lower. It just slides forward, and you can put the cables through and then lock that back into place. And they have a really interesting design here for the Vesa mount, where you can just slide the Vesa mount on here with the device attached. Just slide that on, and it will just lock into place. And then when you need to take the item off, you just click that over to the other side, and it'll slide right off. So really interesting design. That was very handy, again, because I had to re-record my setup here. So when I was taking the monitor off earlier, this made it very, very easy. And now it's time to put the Vesa mount onto the monitor. Now they do have this nice arrow on the Vesa mount here with their special Vesa mounts that they have to make sure you're installing them the correct way. The way these secure onto the mechanism, the top end is closed off, so you want to make sure that closed off top end is what is at the top there. So doing this is always a little bit fun, so just bear with me. The LTT screwdriver, not intentionally shilling for them, but it really is a lifesaver when working on stuff like this, especially when you need to do stuff one-handed. It is legitimately amazing. Okay. And with that installed, now lift the monitor up, pull the arm out to somewhere that makes it easy to do this, and hopefully the camera's picking this up. It'll just slide into the Vesa mount there, and then you lock it in place. Really a simple and nice mechanic. Now I am going to have to adjust the tension on this top part, which, do I have the right key out for that? Yes, I think I do. Let's pull this back up. And that was really easy, like one turn, and it's already keeping the monitor up very well. I don't really want to go much further than that, so like I've installed a lot of these Vesa mounts over the years with a lot of different monitor arms, but this was pretty painless. But the mechanism here is really nice. You can see they've got a lock symbol there, and if I wanted to just pop the monitor off, all I have to do is pull this over to towards me, and then lift up, and then I can just pull this right back off the mount. So that is a really nice, neat mechanism that is just really easy to use compared to some of the other ones I've used over the years. Now, when it comes to height adjustment here, let's take a look. So I'm going to get this up against the wall. And I know that this is rather high, but the point is I want to have a lot of vertical space for if I'm working on a project. Right now I'm working on a 3D printed computer and network storage case, and having that little bit of extra space is really nice. And I mean, look at that. Like if I'm working on a project and I need that space, this is giving me so much more room than what I had before. Like this is almost as high as this monitor that I have sitting above my computer case, which is just to watch some cameras and stuff around the house and the property. So that's as high as it can go with it mounted at the highest position here. Now, if I want to lower this, like if I'm sitting down, that's completely reasonable to use for just normal day-to-day work. Like if I'm sitting here with a mouse and keyboard, like that's perfectly reasonable to me. And then if I need to push this up, I mean it goes up pretty easily. Like that was one finger to push it up, and to move it back down, like it would need a little bit of extra force there near the very end, but that's really quite seamless. Like it needs a little bit of extra force to get to the very edge of what it can do, but the range in between, like I said, one finger can get you where you need to be really with this monitor quite easily. So that is really nice. And if you are someone doing like a vertical monitor, like that's plenty of space. So, I did run into the snafu of my workbench not having or being a bit too deep to mount this at the back because of the metal beam on it. But even with it off over to the side, there's so much range with this. And with my my Rodecaster here, I still have a ton of flexibility. Like I can, if I wanted, I can move that, a good distance over here as well. And let's push this back up. Like if for some reason I wanted to do this, like if I'm working on a project and I'm live streaming from right here, I could have my chat up there to respond to, the monitor for what my camera's seeing. I can control the microphone right here, right with the Rodecaster. Like that is a really functional setup. And if I need to get that out of the way, it's not hard to move that off over to the side. So I am really happy with this. But before I give you my final thoughts, I need to actually use this for a couple of days to see just how good it is. And I need to still go through and route the cables. So we're going to jump ahead a couple of days. I'll show the cable run, but I want to see how this actually is in use. And now it's time to get some of the cable management done. So I'm going to pull the monitor out. I unfortunately don't have long enough cables for the Rodecaster yet. I need to get those ordered. But I can get the monitor done at least. So I'm going to get the monitor plugged in. There we go. And then I'm going to get the routing done here for the DisplayPort cable. And now what I need to do is just give myself a little bit more slack here. And I'm going to try and get these up in here. Some of these beefier cables can be a bit of a pain. Okay, got them in. There's that one. Now the bottom. Try to give yourself some slack here. And then there is the cable management clip here you can also use to just control those a little bit better. And look at that. There's the cable run. I can definitely trim that down a little bit further, but for the purpose of the demo, there we go. And to wrap things up, I want to recap my thoughts having now used this for over a week across work and play situations. COFO is a Japanese company founded in 2016 focused on creating high-quality personal space solutions that blend comfort and productivity to help people perfect their spaces. And that's exactly what this product does. Within seconds, I can have both arms move to what my situation calls for, and it truly has been a game changer for my workflow, giving me the freedom to do more at my desk. I can more effectively do unboxings on the channel, like I did for the mouse recently. I can more effectively go in and work on hobby projects, like you can see in the background. And of course, I can lower the monitor and easily play some games with it. The price tag may seem high, but having now used this, I do believe it's justified. When it comes to monitor arms, you get what you pay for, and COFO is delivering with their zero-gravity monitor arm. So thanks again to COFO for sending this out my way. I have a link to this product in the pinned comment down below for those interested. And thanks to all channel members and viewers for the continued support. See you all around.